Are the Miami Hurricanes for real, and can they win a national championship? Let's talk about it.
Ain't been tight, never known curfews. Sunday night quiet, I ain't even out my church shoes. I done been wide, premarital guessing perfumes. Psycho in a lot, they keep asking me who hurt you. Dreaded for diapers, ain't that some shit? You think buying beers and pacifiers made me a pacifist? There's a list of asses that I like to whip in this timeline.
Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to Sports World Talk Football, where we talk the world of football. And today we're talking college football. Today we're talking Miami Hurricanes. Today we are talking the U, my team, my favorite team. And they're in the playoffs right now, in the semifinals in the college playoffs. And the question of the day is, are they a team who can seriously win the actual national championship? Now, I am a Miami Hurricane fan, but I try to be as non-biased as possible. I'm biased, but I'm not as biased to where I can't form a realistic opinion. Now, me personally, I think of the four teams that's left in the playoffs, which is Miami versus Ole Miss, which is Indiana versus Oregon. Of the four teams left, Miami has the better defense. Miami has the better D-line. Miami has the better O-line. Miami has the quarterback with the most experience, who's more of a veteran, who's been there in bigger games like that before. And I think that definitely comes to play when it comes to these playoffs right here. And with Miami, we have a chip on our shoulder. We have something to prove. Nobody wanted us in the playoffs. When we made the playoffs, some people was mad. Some people, pouted and stuff like that. But, hey, we were supposed to be there. And we're proving that every single game so far. I call it the Shock the World Tour. We shocked the world when we beat Texas A&M. We shocked the world whenever we beat Ohio State. Now we're about to shock the world again, beating Ole Miss. And, again, led by our defense. Our defense, them big boys up front, has been holding us down, putting pressure on quarterbacks, on teams, stopping the run. People was like, oh, no, this person, they're going to run all over Miami. So, no. I think Ohio State maybe had 45 yards total rushing. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head. But putting that pressure, protecting the ball. And one thing that I said before the Miami game started was Carson Beck had to do these things to be the leader we hoped him to be. And he did every single thing of that. He was that leader. He was that guy putting his body on the line. He was that guy making the right play at the right time, the right decision, throwing the ball the right way. And that's definitely the best game I've ever seen from Carson Beck as a Miami Hurricane or a Georgia Bulldog or whatever. That was his best game, in my opinion, against Ohio State. Seeing the way, he carried everything, he carried that moxie and stuff like that, that's what a lot of teams need in a quarterback. That's what we've been wanting him to be as a quarterback, and he's clicking at the right time. And I think, like I said, he's been there, he's done that. Out of all the quarterbacks left, he's been there before. He's been to that stage before against Georgia, and tons of Georgia and versus Alabama games. So Miami versus Ole Miss, that's not something he's going to be, nervous about or anything like that. I think we're going to come there and play. Again, having the best offensive line, having the best defensive line left, I think we're going to cause problems. Now, playing with a chip on our shoulder is a big Miami thing. They always do that. That's something Miami does. That's part of the Miami culture, the Miami way as far as, turning people's words against them. And I think they're going to continue doing that against Ole Miss because Ole Miss, they're a good team. They obviously are not a complete team. They did have a different head coach. Now they got a feeling at the moment. He's doing a good job. But I feel Miami's going to make it hard for them. One thing I feel like Georgia didn't put hands on that quarterback. Georgia didn't rough him up. Georgia didn't put that pressure on him. Yes, he is a dual threat guy, so it's kind of tough. But I think Miami would definitely hold him down. Would definitely contain him. Would definitely make his passing difficult. I think that would definitely happen when Ole Miss and Miami meet up. And they say one of the weakest points of Ole Miss is their running game. It's stopping the run. Well, that's one of Miami's key things is running that ball. And Mark Fletcher has been pounding it past few games. So I think this will be another opportunity for him to show who he is with that chip on his shoulder. With the elite defense we have as far as creating turnovers, I think Miami can definitely continue that. I think that our toughest opponent possibly could be Indiana. I think it definitely be a tough matchup because they are another team who's clicking at the right time as well. You know what I mean? So, Miami's a team. Yes, we had some losses, some ugly losses against Louisville, ugly loss against SMU and everything. But that was a learning moment. It's better to have that learning curve earlier in the season, mid-season, whatever, and then build on. I think that's what Miami did. They build on, and they started playing the right way. They got back focused and disciplined, learned how to be a disciplined team, a well-polished team, and it's showing right now. Everything that they learned from those hits in the mouth, they got hit in the mouth twice, pow, pow, and they jump back, and look what they're doing right now. This is Miami Hurricanes. This is the U. And I think what better way to win that championship in Miami? They know that the championship's in Miami. They have that desire to get there. That's all we got to do is just get there. And we got a home game for us as a championship game, but we have to get past Ole Miss first. And I think we will. I have that score 24-17. The U, I think Miami can definitely get past them. I think definitely we're going to continue the Shock the World tour for Miami Hurricanes. I think the Miami Hurricanes is going to surprise people with how they're playing. And again, once we get past Ole Miss, we're going to hit the same thing again. Well, they did that, but, Indiana or Oregon, they have this, whatever. Again, they have nothing on Miami. And I think we're going to continue seeing Carson Beck, improve more and more. If you see Texas A&M, how the offense it needs to be better. It did a little bit. Ohio State, we saw it open up a little bit more. This next game, we're going to see it open up a little bit more. And we're going to see another version of Carson Beck. We're going to see Mark Fletcher keep, pounding that ball. We're going to see Malachi Tony. We're going to see Ruben Bain show off. We're going to see these Miami players show the world who they are on the Shock the World Tour, Miami Hurricanes. So having the best defense, having the best offensive line, having the best defensive line, having the quarterback with the most veteran experience, being in big games, big situations, and a team that has the most to prove. Miami Hurricanes will win the national championship, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Biased, but I'm not biased. I'm telling the truth. We have the opportunity is right there in front of us. They know we're one game away from a home game, a championship game. But let me know what you think. Does Miami have the opportunity? What can stop Miami? What can make it hard for Miami to get home and win that national championship? All right, so like, subscribe, comment, and let me know, and let's talk about it.
There's a list of asses that I like to whip in this timeline.